Dun, 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 dun. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. What's up, party people in the house?
What up, though?
Welcome to Axis Live, one of the sexiest voices in the SFL,
Mr. Master.
Dave Axis. What is up, party people of the SFL? What's going on? I see all kinds of peeps in the chat already. People talking, people subscribing, people partying. What's going on? Welcome and thank you to episode 15 of season 16 of Axis Live. I'm your host, Dave Axis. We have another amazing show, another amazing panel. We've got week 8 previews. We've got our week 7 Diva of the Week winner and an amazing video to go with that. We also have Gunny's Pearls of Wisdom, of course, coming from the wisest man of the SFL. We'll have some After Dark if you guys have anything you want to talk about. I don't personally have a topic tonight for After Dark, but if you guys want to yap, we'll yap. And then one thing we will do, and we'll probably do this in After Dark maybe to get things started, I will give a shirt update, a t-shirt poll update, and see if we're going to be doing the shirts or not. But we'll do that at the end of the show. If you haven't voted on that yet, go ahead and get in there and vote for that because Eagle's going to close it down tonight before the end of the show, and then I will give you the update there. So all of that being said, let's check out the party people. Let's see who's in the house. Let's see. Partying with us tonight. Used to be Mana. I guess that's Monica Naka. Welcome back, bro. How you doing? Bullet Boletsky's in the house. Ray Ray, what's up, girl? My favorite quarterback, Ace, is in the house. Ethan Kai is here, and he still has his A. Probably the only A you ever got, Ethan. Heyo. Freddie's here. The long arm of the law. The lovely, amazing, perfect, beautiful, gorgeous, love of my life, Pink Lisa's in the house. Deep Say, Kevin, you blew it up for us, or against us, I guess, last week. That was a great game on your part. Kevin Say's in the house. Bo Martin Jr., Charles is here. Will Todd. Who else we got here? Doug, Britton, Bob, Funk, Eagle Mondavi, Fear Dog. Fear Dog, you don't like my countdown, bro? What's up? You don't like my countdown? I am telling my mom. Oh, that's awesome. That's perfect. Let me see who else. Will Todd, I think I already said. Cam Irvine is in the house. Achilles Papatonis is here with us. Achilles, how you doing, bro? Frank is here. Bryant Dynasty's in the house. I think I said Hubba Brizzy already. Leon Thunderman's back. James Walter 87. Let's see. I said Ray Bo Martin Jr., Freddie, M. Davis Fleet. And that's and Twin Screw. Look at Twin Screw sneaking in. Twin Screw, what's up, bro? Where you been? How you been? What have you been up to? We haven't seen you in forever, man. Good to see you jumping in here at the last second. I'm off. Oh, you finally had some time off, and you're going to share it with us. Attaboy. That's perfect. All right. Like I said, we have an amazing show. We have an amazing panel. So let's get to that panel. In the unscripted circle for tonight is the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, a cornerstone of the Axis Live show, Frank the Franchise Wade. Frank, what's up? What's up? How you doing?
How you doing, Dave? Coming to you live from a remote secret location.
I see that. Completely different background. You must be on some top secret mission. We won't talk about it on the air.
That's it. Can't say it.
That's it. It looks like a couple other people. I think Cam Curtis just jumped in the house. Art Vandelay's here. James Troll. Benji Matson's in the house. That's weird. In the unfiltered circle where he seems to always do his best work for some reason. I guess we'll see how he does tonight. Welcome back to the show. One of my right-hand men, Eagle Mandavi. Eagle Mandive, what's up?
What's going on? It's been a long week at the brewery in the Sugar House.
I bet it
boiled a lot of maple syrup yesterday and ready to go.
I bet it has. And you got another big game tomorrow night. The championship of the SSF between you and my next guest.
Yes, we do. Let's go. Let's go Hearts of Maple.
There you go. Well, good luck tomorrow night. In the unedited circle, the other part of the championship game in the SSF tomorrow night, playing against Eagle, also the offensive coordinator for the glorious Lone Star Glory, Greg Soto's in the house. What's up, Greg? Sometimes I feel stupid, then I listen to Eagle. So this is how start. Hey, you're muted, bro.
No, what's going on?
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I don't have the counter like we had with Wink, so somebody's gonna have to keep a tally or something on that. Greg, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing well, man. Doing real good.
All right. Good
I'm
luck to
excited.
you. Good luck to you tomorrow night as well.
Thank you.
Oh, Cam says there's other leagues that actually complete seasons. Yep, there sure is. All right, in the unforgettable circle, and I cannot stress that word enough. Unforgettable, the sexiest cover model on the SFL tight end calendar, the man, Benji Matson. Benji, what's up?
Hey, Dave. That's all I got.
That's it, huh? You know, somebody said to me on a call the other day, they said, I'd like to hear Frank the Franchise Wade, Benji Matson, and Coach, like in a row, read like a lullaby. So I think I'm going to have to set up a show with the three of you, and you guys are all going to have to read a lullaby together or something.
Let's do
You
it.
down with that? All right, sweet. All right, so as everybody knows, I'm going to pop this up real quick here. Maybe. Let me see. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. You know what's great about me running my own show? You just never know what's going to happen. There you go. Just a quick reminder, we're not doing the power rankings right now on the show. Instead, every week that Cam gets me the playoff brackets ahead of time, we'll be using those in lieu of the power rankings. If Cam ever slacks and doesn't get me that information, then we'll go back to the power rankings. But 2 weeks in a row, we've got the playoffs. As you can see on the right-hand side, Denver, Florida, Baltimore, Mexico City, St. Louis, Fort Worth, LA, Atlanta, Houston, Arizona, Vancouver, Jacksonville. So as we go through the graphics tonight, when you see the numbers next to their name, that will be their playoff seeding. I was going to also ask, how's the are the emotes still working? Everything good with the badges and everything? If there's any issues, tell Swole. Don't tell me. we'll pass the buck on to Swole. So there you go for that. And then let's do real quick. Let's take a quick peek at the Week 8 schedule. Before we get started, just real quick, like in a few seconds, Frank, I'm going to start with you. As you look at this week's schedule, Week 8, right before we go into the home stretch, if you will, what game stands out to you? Maybe playoff implications, an upset, anything like that?
Well, the first game I'm going to talk about, Los Angeles and Atlanta. I think that's got some strong implications there with Los Angeles battling for that first place spot over the Pacific.
Okay, Eagle, what about you?
I'm going to be biased and say it's St. Louis and Mexico City.
Of course,
4-5 in the
4 and
playoff
5.
break.
Yeah,
4-5. So that's where I'm going.
That's a big one. Greg, where do you stand on this?
Besides our game, at Sioux Falls, I'm looking at Arizona at Louisiana.
Oh yeah,
the last game of the weekend. Yeah.
That's huge too. Benji, what do you see this weekend, Week 8?
You guys took all my answers, man. Come on, guys.
Well, you've got like
We're
nine other.
over these notes together.
You have nine other games to choose from.
Yeah, Queen City, Jacksonville, going to be a good game. Queen City looks like they may be moving up the charts. Of course, I'm London, so we're taking a look at that, but they're starting to come to life. So I think Queen City, Jacksonville is going to be an interesting game.
Okay, sweet. Let me see if there's anybody else that jumped in real quick. Mac Anthony looks like I didn't get to him. Albert Begins in the house. I think that's about it. I think I caught everybody coming in. All right, let's get down to business. Let's get this party started. Frank, I'm going to start with you, as always, in the unscripted circle. Game 1 of Week 8, like you mentioned, LA at Atlanta. Much like the St. Louis game that Eagle mentioned, it's number 7 versus number 8. Identical records, and LA maybe with a tiny, slight edge since they have the 7th spot. But going in the Hive is no joke. How do you see this game coming out?
Well, last season these two met when LA was in Chicago, and Atlanta pulled out the victory with a 10-point win. I think that was in Atlanta. Now LA comes in with new ownership, new colors, new logo, new direction. This team was in disarray at this point last season, and now they sit tied for first in the Pacific. LA has 2 losses in a row, something they can rebound from. Their offense is ranked 8th. Ranked 11th. Their average almost 29 points a game. They're even in the turnover margin. Defensively, they're 18th. Quarterback Richardson is 15th in passing. Quarterback rating of 75.7. Has thrown 18 interceptions, 15 touchdowns. Robert Johnson's doing his part with over 600 yards rushing, ranked number 2 behind McChesney and also 5 touchdowns. Davius Reed is leading with 490 yards and receptions. And then tight end Jack Flash is tied with Lloyd Graham Jr. and Jamal Wooding for the most touchdowns by a tight end with 5. Buddy Blaze leads the league with 78 tackles. Ryan Joseph leads the secondary with 5 interceptions. Atlanta is trying to get back to where they were 2 seasons ago. Running back BDG Hollywood is looks like that. He's going to help them turn that corner. He's running like he was back then. Atlanta's offense is ranked 8th. They're -4 in the turnover margin. Defensively, they're allowing almost 27 points a game, ranked 11th in yards per game, scoring almost 30 points a game. Dynasty has thrown 17 interceptions, has a QBR of 76.3, has thrown 15 touchdowns. Hollywood is 6th in rushing. Boo Chisholm, Siege Falco, and Jamal Wooding all have 5 touchdowns apiece. Moose Papineau is tied for 2nd in the league with 7 interceptions. Leo Jefferson leads the team with 6 sacks. The key to this game, I think, is Bryant Dynasty. You're going to get a good BDG Hollywood, but a costly turnover by Dynasty could be the deciding factor. He's going to have to protect the football.
There's
he can do that. I think Atlanta will be able to pull out a win there, but he's going to have to be mistake free.
There's not a lot more prettier, I think, SFL football than when Atlanta is clicking on all cylinders. Maybe Vancouver, but when Bryant Dynasty's playing his game, when BDG Hollywood is playing his game, and Boo's getting involved, and Siege and everybody, bro, is there a more fun team to watch than Atlanta?
They've got some quick strike ability. They've got some weapons on offense, and the defense has always been solid. But I'm pulling for LA in this one, by the way. But if they don't turn the football over, I think Atlanta's got a good chance.
All right. Well, Jack's data has Atlanta favored by 3 at home. This game is the first game this weekend. It's on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Mike Trujillo, I always mess up his name, and Benji Matson on the call. Over under a 52.5, and so far, the Who You Got just came out today. So I'm sure we're going to get a lot more votes in there before Saturday. 67-46 Atlanta with the slight edge in day 1 of voting. Moving on to game 2, Eagle. Vegas at Fort Worth. Vegas is. Oh, I meant to tell everybody, by the way, real quick. As you see the graphics today, you're going to see some. First of all, in the parentheses is where they rank. In the SFL in each of those categories: points per game, yards per game, and third down percentage for the offense. The first 3 categories. The second 3 are points against per game, yards against per game, and turnover differential for the defense. If you notice, I tried a couple different things. You guys tell me which one you like better. On some of these, I put the brackets on the outside, and some of them I put them on the inside. So let me know if one of them looks like crap and the other one looks good or whatever. You'll see the difference in a little bit. Oh, I see a hype train going again. What is going on? Did this happen already? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to comment on that, Dave.
I just saw it right now. I was dealing with that guy I had to ban real quick. What is Cam says more prettier. Flashback to Dave trying to chicks on the playground in 5th grade. Dude, 5th grade, I was already a man. I was already a man in 5th grade. What are you talking about? Tough producer decisions being made with brackets, right? Yeah, I see we're level 1 hype train. We're at 81%. Are we going to get crazy again tonight? Party people, I don't know. Let me know. We'll see what happens. Eagle, Vegas at Fort Worth. Fort Worth, looking like one of the strongest teams. You see all those number 1s in brackets on their defense. Vegas struggling with some high numbers on defense. How do you see this one going down?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, right? On Las Vegas' side, they've got the worst passing defense in the league. Luckily, they're going up against Cameron Curtis, who is 22nd in the league in passing. Fort Worth hasn't really relied on Cameron Curtis too much this season. They've really relied on Jason Williams, who is a top 3 running back in my opinion that Fort Worth has. And Fort Worth, they have the best defense still in the SFL with 12 points a game allowing, and the plus the turnover differentials you saw. plus 12 on the graphic. Fort Worth though, I'm curious if they're going to get, a little bit more love to the tight ends. I think last time I commented on a Fort Worth game, I talked about Cade Stevens, and look what happened the next game. It's going to be fun. Scott Johnson though, coming off of a career performance, in my opinion, is the comeback player of the year, most improved player from last season to this season.
I agree with that.
Colin Pierce though, he's throwing the ball, right? But it's not looking the greatest though. He's going into the other team's hands. He's first in interceptions with 23.
Yep.
He's 23rd in the league in completion percentage. It's just going to be a tough game, I think, overall for Las Vegas in this one. Again, they do have the best wide receiver duo in the league, in my opinion, right now with Kirby and Blades, with what they're doing with the touchdowns, the yards per catch. If you want a big play out of one of your wide receivers, Kirby and Blades, they've done work all season so far. Top 5 both in yards per completion. On the defensive side for Vegas, I'm hoping a little bit more out of Rhett Sawyer. He's doing well, but I feel like we've definitely called his name a lot more last season than we have this season.
I started the clock late on you because I thought I had it going and it wasn't. By the way, level 2 hype train is only at 33%, so we might not get to level 2. I don't know. But that being said, I cannot believe Cam is making those kind of comments in the chat on a family show. Cameron Irvine, what is wrong with you? And then you tell Eddie it's a family show. We have to ban that guy. I don't know. Hey, real quick, Eagle. More importantly than any of these games and stuff, people are talking about your wardrobe in the chat. You want to make any comments before I move on to Greg?
Well, it's funny. Greg and I kind of have the same outfits on tonight, and we did not talk. I was just planning my SSF victory tomorrow and wearing what I would wear on a beach to celebrate the victory while drinking maple syrup.
That sounds a lot like trolling.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. Hey, Nacho has started a new campaign in chat called #BanCommish. So, Nacho, thanks for your help, buddy. Appreciate it. Las Vegas at Fort Worth. Jack's data has Fort Worth favored by 7.5 with an over or under of 45.5. Fort Worth jumping out to a pretty big lead in day one of the Who You Got, 84 to only 26 for the second game this weekend on Saturday, 5:05 p.m. Colin and Rick Northrup will be on the call for that. Moving over to Game 3, Greg Soto. Carolina at Baltimore. This is the rivalry. I already saw a few social media posts about this. When Carolina's only 3-4, Baltimore third, ranked team right now at 5-2. But when it comes to rivalries, none of that really matters, does it?
No, I don't think so. And it shows, too. I think last season, I'm looking at the stats now, and I'm looking at results. Baltimore went into Carolina and squeaked out a win there at David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium by 4 points. I mean, they literally walked away with a 20-16 win, barely escaping, Carolina. They're in Carolina. So now this time, it's in Baltimore. And you're right. They're, 3-4 going up against a 5-2 team. Carolina is 1-3 away. They're scoring an average about 24 points away. Not overall. Actually, away, they're scoring better points per game than overall. So that's a little bit better for them. But, Baltimore, they're running into a Baltimore team that's 4-0 at home. They're scoring 30-plus points on average at home. And it's, I try to look at some bright spots on both teams. One of the biggest bright spots is for Carolina is Logan Jack. He's fourth in carries with 168. And, in special teams now, you got Harish returning, returning the ball now for touchdowns on special teams. But on the other side of the ball, you also have, Giovanni Bolt also now. He has 6 returns for over 230 yards, He has one for a touchdown now. Jack Wigmore is the least sacked quarterback in the league. He's only been sacked 6 times. So if Carolina wants to go into Baltimore, you need to add pressure to Wigmore. So, he feels the pressure and he gets sacked only 6 times. Ivory Irvin, fourth in receptions in the league. And, Troy Loshaw, in INTs with 7, that strong safety. That group in Baltimore is really strong. Their offensive line is going to be hard to move around to get to Jack Whitmore. I think that's the trenches, the battle in the trenches. I think is where it's gonna happen here for Carolina if they could beat Baltimore.
Yeah, I think, Harish can return some kicks too. He's not a bad returner. He's got some touchdowns. Yep. He's got a couple big touchdown receptions as well this season. One to set up the game-winning field goal kick a couple weeks ago. So that may not be a bad thing to watch either, Greg. Yeah. I was telling somebody the other day, or maybe I said it on the show, that Giovanni Bolt to me is like the Deion Sanders of this league. That guy can just do everything. He's flashy, he's fast, he's fun to watch, and at any moment he can just break something open, right?
Yep, and then like I see there in the graph, turnover differential. I mean, that's ruthless. That's ruthless right there. Yeah. And I think that's because people are not getting to Wigmore. They're just not getting to him.
Well, Jack's data has this game Baltimore only favored by 7. I was kind of expecting more, but then if you think about it being a rivalry game, I guess that makes sense. Over under 53.5, and Baltimore with a huge lead in day one, 95 to only 16. I think that's the biggest gap so far in the first day on the Who You Gots. This is game 3 on Saturday, 6:40 p.m. Eric Vincent and Cade Stevens on the call. Moving on to game 4, Benji. St. Louis and Mexico City. Eagle said in the intro he thinks this is the game of the week. You got number 4 versus number 5. They're both 5-2. Mexico City's undefeated at home. Do you see the edge going to Mexico City because of that?
Because they're playing at home, we will see on that one. They're definitely playing very well. St. Louis has dropped 2 in a row after their fast 5-0 start. Mexico City is actually have won 4 out of their last 5 games, so they are in the midst of a really nice run right now. They are playing at home, which any more in the league, especially this season, I don't know if playing in the confines of home has the same boost that it has in the past, but Mexico City is traditionally been a tough place for teams to come into. And now they're one of the hottest teams in the league. So St. Louis has got their work cut out for them. Definitely this season. The matchup here is this Mexico City offense, which is on a tear, against this Gladiator defense, still one of the top units in the entire league. I think that overall Mexico City, 30.9 points per game, comes in at number 2 in the league, and St. Louis defense comes in at number 3 in the league, allowing an attractive 20.4 points a game. So St. Louis did get on this, they're on this little 2-game skid here, but they played good defense all season long. So I think the script here for this game is we can probably expect Mexico City to want to do what they usually do at home, which is run the ball. Their offense ranks in the top 5 in a number of categories, not just the running game, but even in the passing game too. They're averaging almost 300 yards in the air, which is good for 5th. In addition, though, that running game, currently 2nd in the league right now. Nice combo between Phoenix Jones and Ray Bentley, and it's awesome they can use both those backs like they are. But Phoenix has been having great games. It seems to be the case that when Phoenix Jones has a good game on the ground, gets a couple touchdowns, they seem to just be unstoppable. Kind of takes the pressure off Mount Wilson, who he's got fantastic weapons, which if they ever had to, he can totally air it out. Kale Barrett's having an amazing season so far, almost 932 yards receiving. He could go over 1,000 this week. And the honorable Mike Daggs, who has just been hanging out so far this season. Who knows what's going to happen there, but he could come to life at any moment. I think that This is going to be a tough game for St. Louis to win on the road, but I think the script is there. Shut down the running game first. Just put the clamps on Phoenix Jones. Make Matt Wilson air this thing out to beat you. They've had success with it before on their stretch to 5-0, and despite these two hiccups, they are still an awesome team. This is, I think, going to be the game of the week. St. Louis just needs to score touchdowns. Amy Shalizzi, number one kicker in the league, 19 field goals so far, but St. Louis needs to finish some of these drives with touchdowns, and if they can do that this week, they'll be right in it with Mexico City.
Yeah. Before I have three things I want to mention in the chat, but before I do that, Benji, the real interesting thing to me is how great Mexico City is offensively and how subpar they are defensively, and then the exact flip-flop for St. Louis. So offense on defense, this could actually end up being a lot of points in this game. You never know.
Yeah, we mentioned really quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, one thing to mention too. We mentioned turnover differential too in the previous game, and that could come into play here. I mean, St. Louis just doesn't turn the ball over, and that was key to them getting out to that fast 5-0 start. I think as far as turnover differential goes, St. Louis is third in the league, plus 10.
Yeah.
And Mexico City's 13th. They're -2. So that's a 12 turnover swing there. That could be something to keep an eye on in this game.
I agree. So three things real quick. Somebody pointed out, the 2 is right next to the 3. Apparently, it's hard for St. Louis to be 1-3 on the road when they've only lost 2 games. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. Second of all, Jeff Banfield, welcome to the show. Glad to see you here. We're actually going to talk about you later tonight if you want to stick around. And then the third thing I wanted to comment on, Cam, if you want to come on for After Dark, we can definitely talk about convention if you want to do that. Jack's data, St. Louis and Mexico City. Mexico City only favored by 3.5, over under 51.5. This is the closest who you got so far. As of earlier today, 58-56 in favor of Mexico City. So that could swing either way before kickoff on Saturday of Game 4 at 7:15 p.m. called by Stephen Hacker and James Walters. Moving on to Game 5, Frank. Queen City at Jacksonville. Queen City, we were kind of on them at the beginning of the season. All of a sudden, they're a game out of the play, potentially a game out of the playoffs. But playing a really, a high-powered Jacksonville team that plays really well at home at 3-1. So, what do you think about this Queen City Jacksonville game?
Well, Queen City, got their 100th win, and then they kind of fell off the map a little bit. They've won 2 in a row. Jacksonville fell to Vancouver last week, and they're hoping to rebound at home. Like you said, 3-1 at home. Jacksonville will try to stay ahead of that turnover margin. They're at +1. Their run defense is number 1 overall. So I think Jet Zero is going to have a hard time accomplishing what he's been doing so far this season. Their pass defense, though, is ranked 21st. Quarterback Christensen has a quarterback rating of 82.9, 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That puts their passing attack at about 10th overall. Running back Jared Willis is averaging 4.7 yards a carry, 536 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. That's 13th overall in rushing. Ken Gossett, 646 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Like I said earlier, Jet Zero has been accomplishing some things that he wasn't able to accomplish last year. That's he had 2 touchdowns all last season. Here we are, just past the midway point. He's got 8 touchdowns, but he's going to have a hard time against this run defense of Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I would say AJ Caswell, only 7 touchdowns in 7 ball games. They're only averaging just under 20 points a game. He's thrown 17 interceptions.
Eagle, what are you talking about? What's that all about? Eagle. Is he muted or something? Oh, go! Oh, get out of here! Because you're running Sims right now. Unbelievable. Frank, the thing that's interesting about Queen City, when you look at where they rank in all of the statistics except for their defense, yards against per game, I'm shocked that they're 3-4. I think that you're right. I think it's going to be hard to go into Jacksonville with this, especially when Jacksonville, has the 7th best defense when it comes to points against. So, what's it going to take for Queen City to actually win this game? You mentioned Caswell. You mentioned Jet Zero. Anybody else?
Well, they do have Matthews, and they do have Powell. So if they can get the ball to them. The thing is, again, Caswell's only thrown 7 touchdowns, and I think what's going to happen is Jacksonville is going to say, Caswell, you're going to have to beat us. 0 is not going to beat us. They're going to try to stifle the run, and Caswell's going to have to perform. And he hasn't had that breakout game this season, and he's going to need that to take an 0-3 team on the road into Jacksonville and beat a 3-1 home team.
Real quick, last thing. If Christian Christensen throws more touchdowns than interceptions, does Jacksonville win?
Yes.
Yep, I agree with you. Jack's data has themselves favored by 6.5 with an over-under of 47.5. And another huge, I think this is probably the second biggest one behind the Carolina-Baltimore game, 87 to only 19 on the Who You Got by SFL Nation in favor of Jacksonville in that game. That's the 5th game, the first of the 2 night games on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Mike Trulio on the call again. That's his second game that day. He's a workaholic. And Stephen Mullinex on the call for that. Cam, look at he's working these guys now. Moving into the nightcap, the last game on Saturday, Eagle. Charleston at Vancouver. Again, Charleston, we talked about on Tuesday, the only 4-3 team that is not in the playoffs right now. Vancouver, number 1 in 3 offensive categories right out the gate. Can Charleston, who's 3-1, so far away from home this season, go into Vancouver, put a win up, and put themselves into the playoffs?
Can they? I mean, anybody can, right? But
will they?
Will they? It's going to be tough. I mean, the Legion, in my opinion, have the clear, right now, front runner for Offensive Player of the Year with Tom Pepper. Mm-hmm. Just playing phenomenal overall. I'm a little, the Legion, they've also used Redford a lot out of the backfield with passes and swings. They haven't converted any touchdowns, though, out of him yet. So that's kind of a weakness that I see with the Legion, that they're using him a lot out of the backfield, but not getting the touchdowns that he's needed. I mean, Dave, Kendra Hall, she's showing us all how to catch touchdowns, right? She's got 7? Tied for second in the league right now. I mean, Killian's doing fantastic as well for the Legion. On the other side, they've got Buchanan Simmons is the wide receiver he's got 6 touchdowns, right? So it's like you've got 2 wide receivers that convert their chances very well going up. I'm a little concerned on Charleston's side with TD Drew a little bit. 20th in passing for yards, 22nd in completion percentage, right?
Yep.
Swearingen, he's got 749 yards right now, 5 touchdowns. I believe that's 3rd in the league rushing. So there's some positive right there for the Predators. Going to the defensive side of the ball for both teams, Jack Brown's leading the league in tackles, or tied for the lead with tackles with, I think, Buddy Craze at 76, 78 or something. On the other side, Mark Lopez, strong safety, right behind. He's got 77 total tackles for the Legion. You got Ashley Rose Finch, strong corner for the Legion.
Yeah, she's
Will
great.
they be able to handle Simmons? It's gonna be tough, right? You've got players that just do work, even if they get triple covered, double covered, they can still do work, and Simmons is one of those wide receivers that can do it. For Charleston, though, I think they need to work on better turnover. They need to get more turnovers on the defensive side, at least 4 interceptions. Zach Lee's leading the team with only 3, compared to Ashley Rose Finch's 7 for the Legion. Charleston's going to, though, stay in this game a little bit because they do have one of the best rushing defenses in the league. So it's going to be tough, but if I wasn't biased to my St. Louis and Mexico City game, this probably would be my match of the week.
You know, it's interesting. Somebody said that they think this is a really good game, and as they were talking, or as you were talking, I was thinking, we've got a 4-5 game this week. We've got a is it 7-8 game this week, and technically Charleston's 13th, right? They're the first team out of the playoffs, so you have a 13-11. So 3 really closely ranked teams all vying for game of the week. Jack's data on this one, Eagle, has Vancouver only favored by 3 at home. With an over-under of 41.5, which I find a little low with Vancouver's high-powered offense. And Vancouver, in the who you got, overwhelmingly 84 to only 24 on day one by SFL Nation for the last game on Saturday night that kicks off at 9:20 p.m. Josh Zirkle and Eddie Gage on the call. Gunny, are you around? Is Gunny with us? I didn't notice if he was here or not. He looked like he took off. Gunny, if you're here, you're muted, bro.
Yes, I'm not muted now, but I want my T-shirt.
Well, we'll talk about that later, and we'll see if there was enough interest. Eagle is manning the poll, and he'll give us an update at the end of the show. So, in the meantime, Gunny, you want to just give us your pearls of wisdom and tell us what's up?
I will do that. Good evening, SFL. Good luck to everyone in week number 8. I would like to wish good luck to Sioux Falls. I like their team. I hope they make the playoffs, but I do hope they lose this week because Lone Star really could use a win to even up their record at 4-4. We had a good game against them last year. Wonderful comeback in the fourth quarter. I think we scored 28 points in the fourth quarter, but still lost by a touchdown. Jeff Banfield, I know you're in the audience. If Evan Lacey was not my Diva of the Week, you were my runner-up for wearing and honoring the number 4 for the DC Dragons in your win. Also, to my cornerback brothers, I would like to know what your height and weight is because I'm curious if my 6'3", 210 frame has anything to do with maybe how my player performs. Maybe I need to lose some weight or something like that. So I'm curious what my fellow cornerbacks' height and weight are for the season. Again, good luck to everyone. I did run into a couple more of my soccer kids. They're under 10 years old, but damn it, by the time they reach middle school, they're going to be taller than me. So I got to enjoy it while I can. Again, good luck to everyone this weekend, and that is all.
Awesome, Gunny. Thank you so much. I always appreciate you and your words of wisdom for the SFL. Doyle, to answer your question, I guess you haven't been around for a while, but every time that Gunny's about to go on and we play the Marines hymn, Ray puts the lyrics up for us so you can sing along if you want, especially if you haven't been here in a while, which it sounds like you haven't. So all of that being said, oh, you know what? Look at me. I totally choked putting Gunny's stuff up. I was so worried about making sure I had his music right, I forgot to put his graphic up. You know what, Gunny? One of these days I'll actually be able to put both of them together and we'll have a good show. Unbelievable. All right, let's move on to Sunday's games. Sunday kicks off at 4:30 p.m. With Andy Hamilton and Gerald Giudicelli on the call. Here's the interesting thing, Greg, on this game. This is one of only 2 games this weekend that doesn't have at least one playoff team in it. Ours being the other one.
Yeah, no, you're right. And, I looked at some of these things here, and I don't know, and we played London and LSG. London is so much better than 3 and 4. They really are. It's just, for them, it's their 3 wins are all away. I mean, away is home for them. If there's a way to give London all away games from now on, then do it for the rest of the season because they play better. Like you have it here, 21.29 points per game overall, but actually away, they're scoring 28.5 points away. They are so much better team away that it's just crazy. Last time they played Tulsa, though, they played them last year in July, and they ended up losing 17-24. Tulsa ended up winning that game in the regular season in season 15. But I'm just looking at London. I mean, Robert Merrill, most receptions by not only a running back, by anybody. He has 75 receptions. More than any other wide receiver, tight end, running back. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The guy's just amazing. On the defense, Marquise Reed, fifth in tackles, also in total, fifth in total, fourth in solo tackles. Telemac Scarborough is eighth with 65 total tackles. Then you have William Davidson, second in sacks with 9.5. Third in tackles for loss. I mean, this defense, if they could just figure out a way to win at home, it'd be great. The record would be much better. And on the other side, you have, the craziness that is Gabriel Manning. It's just, the guy's insane. The guy's a highlight reel. He's second. He's been targeted second most in the league. He's fifth in receiving yards. And then on the defensive side, you have Chris Andrews, their defensive end.
Yep.
He's like in the top 10 in a few defensive categories. And it's just, I think what's going to happen is it's going to come down to, can they hold, Gabriel Manning down a little bit? He had 199 yards for 2 touchdowns last week in that loss. And it's just going to be, is London the team that shows up, that scored 42 points against Arizona at Arizona, or are they going to be the team that only scores 20 points like they did against Baltimore? And that's really going to be it. Are they going to actually score their 28.5 points that they average, away? If that's going to be the case, then London might pull this off.
Yeah, the thing that stands out to me, other than the fact nobody has a single stat on the graphic that's in the top 9. There's a couple top 10s there. But, the points per game are close. But look at the difference in points against. With Tulsa giving up almost 29 points a game.
At home.
That's kind of a big deal. That's kind of a a big deal. So,
yep, it is. And the turnover differential, too. If you look at that, it's a 6-point differential there on turnovers. It's a 6 turnover differential there.
Absolutely. Well, Jack's data has Tulsa favored by 3.5, Greg, with an over/under of 44.5. And this, who you got by SFL Nation, 68-44 in favor of London. So you got Jack's data going with Tulsa. You've got SFL Nation going with London. So I guess we'll see how that turns out. Did I already say this game? Did I say Andy Hamilton and Gerald already? I think I did. On 4:30 p.m. on Sunday. Game 2 on Sunday. Florida, Benji, at a team that just got their first win against Lone Star in D.C. But Florida is the number 2 team in the league right now. Here's the interesting thing. Florida hasn't won on the road. D.C. hasn't won at home. One of those has to break. Which one's it going to be?
Right. That's quite the stat there. DC has a fighting chance in this one. Florida's super hot right now. Winners of 4 out of their last 5. Yes, only no wins on the 0-2 on the road. 5 games at home. Must be super awesome, Florida. That's great. They've really taken advantage there, 5-0 at home. But they are playing really well. I've seen there are a few Florida Stormies in the chat, and they're having a great year. I think Mr. Ron.
I just saw Mighty pop into with his googly eyes.
Yeah. Mr. Ron Cochran's out there,
Mm-hmm.
and he's enjoying a great season so far. And I remember talking about Florida and just the enigma that they were last season. I just always remembered the slow start and how they roared to life, and made it into the playoffs. And I'm relatively new to the leagues, but all I heard, over and over was Florida Storm and Mighty, and just the quality, high quality of play season in and season out, and that's what we've come to expect of Florida. And here they are, 5-2, off to a great start, top of the charts. Ron Cochran playing great, the gunslinger at the quarterback spot. He's getting the ball to everyone on the team. Number 1 in the league in completion percentage at 77%. He's got a great QBR, 92.7, good for 3rd in the league right now. He's keeping his interceptions down, which was something we talked about last season. They were that was kind of one of the issues with Ron. I think he even had an game with 5 interceptions, I think, last year. I hope that's right. I'm sorry if it's not, Ron. I don't mean to slander. But it was something we would talk about. If they could just take care of the ball, and they're doing it this season, and they're 5-2. They got good defense, supporting the offense, and again, they're getting the ball to everyone. Everyone has a receiving touchdown in Florida, even Doyle.
What? Don't say it's not so.
It's the truth. So they're doing a great job on offense of taking what's given to them when they're sort of surveying that defense. Ron Cochran's getting the ball everywhere. Across the field, they're having good success, and the defense is supporting them well too. Evan Carroll, 5 interceptions, is top 10 in the league. Ryan Davidson, also a cornerback, he's got 3 there. He's got 1 for a score, so he's a threat to take one back to the house. Deontay Stoneville is up in the sack rankings a little bit, so 4.5 for him. The other 2 partners on the defensive line, 4 sacks apiece. They're getting pressure up front, a defense, just playing solidly all across the board, and they are visiting DC. And the Dragons at 1-6, I think everyone has said, they won last week, but even before that, they're saying they are so much better than their record indicates. I think that's the case. Yes, they're 1-6 and they're a new team, but they are getting better every week. They like to muck things up, and they could muck this game up for Florida this weekend. They've got sneakily a great pass defense, so they're going to be sitting on Ron Cochran and the Stormies, and we just don't know what's going to happen. But there have been multiple games this season where DC has just made it a slugfest, and the defense is for real there in DC. They need games from Shabazz and Kevin Say and Jeff Banfield like they had this past week in their victory over Lone Star. Shabazz threw 3 scores. He was up at 285 yards. Kevin Say, game of his season, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Jeff Banfield, almost 9 grabs for 136 yards. They played great on offense, moving the ball. They play through Kevin Say. He's one of the most heavily utilized backs in the league, and that's going to be their bread and butter against Florida. Florida knows how to counter that, though, as well. They've got Charlie Blitzky, who's also highly used as a receiver out of the backfield as well. He's their new star halfback, enjoying a good rookie season. This is going to be a good game. DC is going to make it really tough for Florida on the road. DC is a good team. Will DC prevail at the end? It will take this defense shutting down Florida Storm's offense. Maybe they do intercept Ron Cochran multiple times. Maybe he does have a down game, throws a couple picks. If they can do that, they need to put a little bit more pressure on him, the DC Dragons do. But there is a formula there. At home, DC could take this from Florida if they play like they did last week against Lone Star. Lone Star is also a good team. So I think it will be a good game. DC makes all their games good. It will be a good one to watch. And congrats to Florida for having a great season so far.
Yeah, I think 2 things stand out to me in this game. Number one, if DC can put a string together to beating 2 good teams, and you can kind of combine that with all their close calls that they almost won, shows that a lot of progress that they've made throughout the season. The other thing that really stands out to me on this, though, is the third down percentage. How they're both. It says 3 and 4 just because that's where they were ranked, but they're both basically tied for third at 59%. I don't see a lot of punting in this game, Benji. Jack's data, though, has Florida only favored by 3.5. The number 2 team in the league against a 1-6 team, only favored by 3.5, so that's very telling as well. Over under 45.5, and SFL Nation crushing it, though, 92 to only 22 in favor of Florida for Sunday's Game 2, with Tyler Falk and Charles Doherty on the call at 5:05 p.m. Going to Game 3, Frank. Portland at Houston. We wrapped up the show the other night asking and wondering, could this be a trap game for Houston? What do you think?
That's the first thing I put on my notes, Dave, is trap game with a question mark. Houston's riding this high the past few weeks, winning 4 out of 5. Portland is a team that you can't fall asleep on while looking ahead to Fort Worth. Portland is their record is 2-5, but is very capable of putting up some points. I know it doesn't show it. I think they're just over 21 points a game. But the problem with them is being consistent. They've got to be able to convert on third downs. Their third down percentage is 35%. That's last in the league. Matt South is 20th in QBR with 68.9. He has 13 interceptions, only 9 touchdowns. Ezekiel Love is that back they've been wanting. They got him. He can hit that long run for a score. He's got 611 yards rushing, puts him 11th overall much better option than they had. Art Vandelay and Gene Valentine have made strides. You don't hear from them through half the game, and then all of a sudden one of them's catching a long ball for a touchdown, and next thing you know, after 2 or 3 catches, they're over 100 yards. Rookie Gary Clem has been a good addition for the linebacker core. Drafted 3rd overall. He has 58 tackles, 1 interception, and 2 forced fumbles. This is what stands out to me is the plus 11 turnover differential. You got Shaw Allen leads the league in interceptions with 8, and Bob, the master of funk, has 6 interceptions. They can get to the quarterback. Darren Nuevo has 6 sacks. This Portland defense is not bad and will be challenging for Houston. I know their rankings don't indicate that, but they can get to the quarterback and they can create turnovers. Houston has the 5th best offense in yards per game. They're 3rd in rushing, 18th in passing. E.T. King, here's an issue right here, has thrown 18 interceptions, has a QBR of 82.3. Warren Murray has modest numbers, almost 500 yards rushing. D.R. Sims, Leroy Brown are 2nd and 14th, respectively, overall in receiving yards. And then you got rookie Kyle Fenimore has been a surprise with 3 touchdowns. Last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year is having an average season right now with 64 tackles and only 1 interception, but it's this year's potential Defensive Rookie of the Year, rookie Roger Law, as having an outstanding season. He is tied for 2nd with 7 interceptions.
Yeah.
Tied with his teammate, A.J. Barnes. Defensively, Houston is 10th against the pass, 14th overall against the run, plus 5 in the turnover ratio. On paper, it looks like it should be a cakewalk for Houston, but as we all know, the computer can throw you a curveball sometimes. Next thing you know, you're in a dogfight. E.T. King can't turn the ball over, but Matt South can't either. Houston is going to be able to stop Ezekiel Love. He might be able to break one, but Matt South's going to have to stay away from the 50-50 balls, get rid of the ball quickly, keep everything short, don't run corner routes around the goal line because that's where the long arm of the law is going to get you. On paper, Houston should win this game, but I would not be surprised if Portland wins.
I agree with you, and I think something that I think Ron Cochran brought up in the chat, 3rd down percentage for Portland, dead last in the league, and next to dead last in yards per game. Portland's problems aren't on the defensive side; they're on the offensive side, and you got to love the long arm of the law and his rookie compadre back there, Marco Swift. For Houston, love both those guys. Love them. Love seeing them in the
do a great job. Both of them do a great job.
Yeah, they're just all over the place. They're great. Well, Jack's Data has this game, Houston by 7.5 with an over/under of 41.5. So kind of low. I think they're maybe not expecting a lot of scoring from Portland. This Who You Got by SFL Nation is pretty overwhelming as well. 85-29 in favor of Houston for the 3rd game on Sunday that kicks off at 6:40 p.m. Eastern time. All the times on here are Eastern, by the way. Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson on the call. Moving over to Game 4, Eagle, on Sunday. Lone Star coming off an emotional game, a bitter loss, if you will. I think Lone Star, if there was a game they wanted to win when we had the tribute for Evan Lacey. So Lone Star coming off a bad loss. Sioux Falls starting to gain momentum. Lone Star 1-3 away. Sioux Falls 1-3 at home. What do you think about this one?
I think there's failures for both teams on both sides of the ball, right? We'll start with Sioux Falls. They're lucky to be 2-5. One failure from London not having it looked like a dime defensive play.
Right.
Sioux Falls is 1-6, right? Sioux Falls offensively, I don't know what happened. I mean, we've always known, at least since I've been in the league, we've known that Sioux Falls passing game is non-existent. With Tyree, they rely on Colin Hart, right? Colin Hart's got 625 yards, which is fine. It's, middle of the pack-ish. He's got 7 touchdowns, but Tyree's not helping himself. Last in the league in passing, last in the league in completion percentage. He's only got 5 touchdowns. He has he's got a sub 60 QBR, which is 23rd. Um, defensively for Sioux Falls, they're not getting to the quarterback. I believe Cam Frosby, he has 2 sacks, and he's leading their team in sacks with 2.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, Nick Fargo is their key point in defense. He's got 74 total tackles. He's 4th in the league there. Sioux Falls negative 60 net points. It's not gonna be fun for Sioux Falls this week, but it's not gonna be fun for Lone Star. Hey Dave, what color sleeves do you have this week?
I can't tell anybody yet. It's always top secret until kickoff.
Gotcha. It's
We
not
keep
gonna
it
help
under
you
wrap.
catch the ball.
Yeah, what are you talking about, bro?
You got 61% catch rate right
That's
now.
not-
That's poor.
That's not true. You need to look that up. That's not true.
That's what I looked at. You look it up. I looked it up.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Actually,
You looked it.
while you're
Look it up
talking.
on the stats on the website. It says 61% catch rate.
Well, then I'm going to be putting in a ticket in tomorrow for the website.
Put a ticket
to get
in,
that
yeah.
corrected.
No, but I don't know what happened. I mean,
Oops.
Ike and Adam Williams have had down years from what they had last year. I'm hoping Ike can take full advantage of the defense that Sioux Falls has. Gregory, right here, Greg, my dear friend Greg. He's been a bright point for you guys with coming over from Chicago on offense. Ace has had a decent. He's had actually a very good year at quarterback.
Yeah, he's doing. He's playing very well.
Yeah, sixth in the league in passing. He's got 14 touchdowns, so he's top 5 there. 9 interceptions, so he's the number 1. He's got the lowest amount of interceptions out of any quarterback in the league right now, and he's 2nd in the league for QBR at 94. Defensively, Evan Lacey's he's got 4 picks for you. Coach is leading your team in tackles. It's going to be interesting how the weather plays out too, because you're going to South Dakota. It's going to snow.
Weather. Well, at least we're not playing in Miami. That's the important thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing in Miami, there's snow automatically.
It's always snow in Miami, but
Yeah, but I wish Ike and Adam could go back to last season, and same with like Colin Hart destroying defenses. Right, there's been failures to me on both sides of the ball right now.
Here's the thing. Oh, did the timer go off already? Look at that. That was a quick.
Yeah, I was trying to be on your 3-minute
I
timer.
know. So I appreciate that. I didn't realize it was going so fast. I was trying to look this thing up, which I still haven't found yet because I'm trying to do 20 other things at the same time. I don't think that we can afford to lose 2 games in a row, especially to 2 teams that are in the lower tier, if you will. It will not help, our strength of schedule, I guess, and our strength of victory. I guess even if we win this, I don't know how it helps our strength of victory necessarily. But quick question, Eagle, before I move on to Greg. I've asked this a couple times before. I mean, Sioux Falls lost their fullback. That's the only thing that's different, other than playing on legend setting. How is it so night and day from the last 2 seasons for them?
I don't think it makes any difference that they lost their fullback. I think it's more. I don't want to complain on the settings because I'm not complaining, but I think it's more legendary setting on builds than anything. I mean, they brought in another fullback, Cornelius,
Yeah.
Charlemagne Cornelius.
Yeah.
So everything is still the same, but here's the thing, Dave. If you run the same playbook 7 years in a row, or the same idea 7 years in a row, eventually teams are going to catch on.
That's a good point. I don't know if that's
I have no idea
if that's
if that's true or
exactly
not,
what's
but,
really. Yeah, I don't either. But you're right, and we do hear a lot about Sioux Falls being consistent. So maybe that is the issue. Jack's data has Sioux Falls only favored 2.5. We don't see very many 2.5 point spreads. So Jack's data must feel pretty confident that Sioux Falls is going to beat us in a squeaker. Over under a 45.5, and another close. Who you got? SFL Nation 62-50, so only 12 votes separating the 2 teams in favor of Sioux Falls. That's your 4th game on Sunday. Kickoff at 7:15 p.m. Chris Curtis and Wade Phillips on the call. Greg, we're moving into the home stretch here for Week 8. This game, though, here's the thing. Seriously. I mean, DC gets their first win last week. Can San Diego get their first win this week? And again, this is another game where Denver's 4-0 on the road, and unfortunately, San Diego hasn't won a home game yet.
Yeah, man, this is definitely David versus Goliath on a monumental level here. I mean, can San Diego win? Yeah, of course they could win, but these are the things that can happen. Javier Vasquez cannot be sacked. He leads the league in sacks. His offensive line is not doing their job. He's been sacked 27 times. That man probably hits the showers not wanting to come back. I'm sure he doesn't come back to practice until Thursday. And Thursday's no pad day. I mean, the guy has got to be completely out of his mind right now. He has the lowest yardage per attempt at only 5.7 as a quarterback. Has the lowest passing TDs with only 4 passing touchdowns. I mean, that the offensive line has to block for him so he could find somewhat to throw it to. Throw it to Optimus. Throw it to Connor Weston. He needs to find somebody. They do have some bright spots, at strong safety and linebacker. Mike Ryan and Devin Keene. They're good players. They're solid on that defense. But again, I think the only way that San Diego can maybe try to hold down Denver is time of possession, and again, you gotta have Javier upright. On the other side, McChesney is unbelievable. Leads the league in most rushing yards with 1,036, most carries, second in rushing TDs with 9, only behind Phoenix Jones of Mexico City. Away, Denver is scoring 31.5 points. And San Diego is only scoring 13 points at home. The only bright spot that I see is the turnover differential. -3 to Denver and -2 to San Diego. Other than that, Dave, even third down possession is just way off against these teams. They're letting, and like I said, 31.5 points. And look at the points that they're giving up. Look at San Diego, 31.7. I mean, it just plays into Denver going in there and just completely, demolishing San Diego. Again, does San Diego have an opportunity to do something here? Yes, I think every team does. But I think they have to help Javier stand upright and give that man some time. This guy might retire by the end of the year if he keeps on getting sacked at this rate.
I think I might have had a typo here on the turnover differential. -3 and -2. That's not going to be 8 spots different. So as I'm looking it up, San Diego -2 and Denver -3. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. It's more like 14 and 15. I don't know what I must have forgot to correct this or something. So that's more 14, 15 ranking in the league. But you're right, though. It's only one difference, so that could be the bright spot for San Diego. I think you're right on that. Jack's data on this game, here it is. You guys, everybody, SFL Nation, all the party people in the chat, I hope you're listening because I'm about to announce the biggest spread of the entire season, and I believe it would also be the largest spread if we included last season. Denver is favored, according to Jack's data, by 23.5 points, almost 24 points, with an over-under of only 39.5. So that means they're basically saying San Diego's going to score like 7 points in this game. Over the again 96-14 in the Who You Got SFL Nation, obviously overwhelming for Denver. And this game is the next to last game on Sunday night and of the whole weekend, kicking off at 9 p.m. with Jack Brown and Ryan Caudell on the call. Going into our last game of the weekend, Benji, I'm still kind of blown away by this spread that I just read for the Denver game. But this is a great game to wrap up the weekend, right? You got Arizona in the 10th spot at 4-3, a Louisiana team trying to make something, trying to salvage this season, but they haven't won a home game yet, Benji. Do they finally get a home win this weekend?
Well, there's a path there for them to do it, and that's just play Louisiana Revolution football like we've seen in the past. And, we definitely know they're capable of it. Will they do it against Arizona? We'll find out Sunday night. This is going to be a good game, I think. Arizona's been impressive. I think super impressive. The record only at 4-3, but I called their game last week against Fort Worth, and as I was preparing for the game, I kind of talked to the guys in the truck that, I just don't think Fort Worth has seen a team at the season like Arizona. And Fort Worth, still has that number one defense in the league, but Arizona took it to them because Arizona's doing something different this season. We all know Eddie Gage likes to hang his hat on his defense, but Ashley Jackson is slinging it this season, and she's got lots of weapons around her, so this offense is playing really aggressive. Yeah, both Ashley, though, and Johnny are kind of at the bottom of the league in turnovers. That's the one Achilles heel for the Scorpions right now. It's the high number of turnovers. Revolution and Johnny have a high number of turnovers there as well. I think in my notes, 22 turnovers for Arizona, 23 turnovers for Louisiana on the season. So that's 22 and 23. So they are at the bottom of the league there.
Yeah.
Low turnover differentials too. So that's going to be key. That's going to be paramount in this game on Sunday night, is which quarterback can protect the ball better than the other quarterback. We know Johnny and Ashley have great weapons all across the field that they can lean on. Will this be a Reggie Streeter game? Will he get up and running? Will he carry the team? Or will Arizona lock him down? Because Arizona played good defense on Fort Worth last week. We could expect them to come into Louisiana and shut down Reggie Streeter. Other teams have done it this season.
Right.
So it could go back and forth here, but both teams are equipped to win. It could be a shootout. But I think the key is who's going to hold on to the ball better and who's going to better use their supporting cast. We know there are stars all over the field in this game. It could be a high-scoring shootout to end the Week 8 slate here in the SFL. So I'm not quite sure who to throw my hat in the ring on here on this one, but I know it's going to be good. Just looking at some of the other defensive numbers, for instance, Arizona is going to be putting pressure on Johnny. 22 sacks from Arizona so far in the year. Mark Mello is number 2 in the league. D.D. Sacks number 8 in the league. B.J. Loveless playing good at his linebacker spot. And then in the secondary, Iverson Gamble, 5 interceptions. Bernard Smith, the rookie, 4 interceptions. So it's a ball-hawking defensive secondary back there, opportunistic. Well, Louisiana also has an opportunistic secondary too. So if AJ turns that ball over, Louisiana could turn it into points defensively, which they've done as well too. So there's just this script where both teams can win, but I think it's going to involve turnovers, maybe a lot of them. It's just who, at the end of this game, one of these teams will have fewer turnovers, and that's my guess is that's who's going to win this game.
Yeah, Benji, the thing, and I mentioned this, I believe, last week, that's just killing me about Arizona is how they flipped the script with their offense and their defense this season. If Eddie Gage gets his defense back and now he understands offense, I mean, watch out for Arizona in seasons to come as well. Here's you were talking about putting points on, Benji. Jack State has Arizona favored by 3.5, but they have the second highest over-under for the entire weekend at 51.5. So they are expecting a lot of points in this game. 73-42 SFL Nation. We are taking Arizona over Louisiana in day 1 of the Who You Got. This is the nightcap and the weekend cap on Sundays. Kickoff at 9:20 p.m. called by Tyler Falk and Mark Lopez. We're going to move on now that we've done our Week 8 previews on to our Diva of the Week winner presentation. If you were here on Tuesday, we showed the video that Tom Welsh made. By the way, I meant to say something on Tuesday night, and I can't remember if I did or not. So if I didn't, I apologize, Tom. But Tom Welsh is the one who made the video that everybody got to see a few times over the weekend for the Lacey family. He did a phenomenal job. with the video, and we showed it again here on the show on Tuesday night. Well, as we know, Evan Lacey wore number 4. So his dad, Van, who is the person behind the player, Evan Lacey for Lone Star, wore number 4 this past weekend against DC, as well as Jeff Banfield also wore number 4 in tribute for Evan Lacey. Lots of 4s have been up in chats, both game chats and Twitch chats, this show chat even. Lots of number 4s for Evan Lacey. Well, that being said, my favorite quarterback in the world, Ace Fennick, did me a solid, and for the Diva of the Week presentation, winner presentation, Ace was able to put together a nearly 4-minute video for Evan Lacey. He took his highlights from the game with clips from the video you saw this weekend. So I want everybody to kind of sit back. You got a few minutes now to just chill, have your drink, do whatever, but keep your eyes on the screen and your ears and check out this amazing, amazing video done by Ace Fennick for the Lacey family. Oh, maybe.
It's been a long day without you, my
to
friend.
raise such a great kid. And I feel honored to be his father.
The 10, DC looking to go up 28-7. Drop back from Shabazz Synergy, goes for the end zone, goes to the back, picked off Evan Lacey! In the game where they pay tribute to him, he's able to get the stop at the back.
Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days.
Yeah, they're playing aggressive, and you kind of have to when you're in this position. Shabazz Synergy throwing it deep over the middle, and what worked before doesn't work again.
Without you, my friend. And I tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we
Something like that, you gotta get your O-line to hold off those 3 interior defensive linemen. One D.
Drop, throws over the middle, caught, threads the needle. Shabazz Synergy. Clock is still moving.
It's the second time we've seen Jeff catch that skinny post in that quarters coverage. I mean, it's kryptonite for this coverage. I don't care if you got Deion Sanders back there. He's just not going to be able to.
And when brotherhood come first in the line and never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn. When that line is what we wish to remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side. And now you're gonna be with me for the last ride.
Quick drop there from Shabazz Synergy, throwing on the flats. And it's going to be a gain of 9. A nice throw and catch to Jeff Banfield, making it a 3rd down and 1.
Oh, I'm great. I'm anxious. I'm ready.
This has been a long road, my friend. I just want to ask you one question.
Okay.
Are you ready to play for Lone Star?
Absolutely. Without
right.
a doubt. Absolutely.
Let's do this. Let's get it done.
My wife is in the background dancing.
All right. Well, I'm going to start dancing here pretty soon. Well, God bless you, man, and welcome to the family. We can't wait to bring you in the locker room. Good things are coming down the road. Let's go win some games.
Thank you. Likewise.
All right.
Let's do this.
All right. Take care.
You too.
All right, bye.
3rd and 12. It's 4 wide with one single man in the backfield for the Dragons. Shabazz Synergy throwing it deep over the middle, and oh my goodness, the Lone Star defender, Lacey. Line. Handoff now to the outside. Kevin Say he's got some room to run.
He's hurt.
Evan Lacey.
He's hurt.
Oh no. Yeah, he's gonna be out of the game. But DC, they have the 2 halfback set.
They do, and guess
now
who's
we're
going to come in for his replacement? Yeah, he got hit
Yep.
trying to spin. He might have just separated his shoulder right there. Might have broken his collarbone.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys already know from Tuesday, it was unanimous that Evan Lacey be the Diva of the Week winner for Week 7, not just for the tribute, but for his play on the field in several Diva moments, including taking care of Kevin Say there near the end. Evan Lacey is with us. He just jumped in the chat. Van Lacey jumped in, player of Evan Lacey. Van, how you doing, bro? Welcome to the show, and congrats on Diva of the Week, Week 7.
Thank you. I'm doing well. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you fine.
Excuse me, I'm a little bit emotional, but I really appreciate all the love that everyone in SFL has given, not only for me, but the entire Lacey family. I really appreciate and love you guys.
Yeah, and special thanks again, Tom Welsh for making the original video for the weekend, and Ace for taking the highlights of Evan's play plus clips of the video before. Just some phenomenal people doing some phenomenal things in this league. Van, let's talk about the game for a minute. First question, and most important question I have for you: why didn't you knock Kevin Say out of the game earlier, bro?
Hey, I was trying everything I could, man. I was trying everything I could. It was just so overwhelming, and it was just great to see my player uh, perform the way he did. But it was a hard fought game, but DC they deserved to win.
Yeah, I think I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but I think you had 8 tackles, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of deflections, the interception. You crushed somebody in the chest plate on one play, and then knocked Kevin Say out of the game later on another one. Talk to me real quick before we do pick'ems about the play going up against Jeff Banfield. Both of you wearing number 4, and both of in a lot of plays together with you covering him a lot.
Yeah, Jeff is my boy. Jeff is, we both play for San Jose Flight, and we have a saying, we're Flight for life. And Jeff, he wore number 4 in solidarity with me, and with Lone Star, and it was great seeing him wear number 4 and seeing him perform the way that he did. It was very honorable, and I'm so proud of him and the way that he played. But it was great competing. But that's my brother for life.
Well, Van, I can't say enough how amazing it was to be part of this tribute weekend for your son. Lots of thanks go to a lot of people for making things happen this weekend, from videos to like Jeff wearing number 4 to uniform situations, the whole 9 yards. So I hope you felt the love this weekend and this week for your son, and we're just lucky to have you on Lone Star.
Well, thank you, and I want to say, thanks not only from me but from the Lacey family to everybody, Wally, Charles, yourself, Ace for putting the video together, Tom, Cam, Commissioner, everybody in the Lone Star locker room, as well as the SFL Nation. Everybody showed us love, and we really, I can't show enough appreciation. I'm really happy that I was able to join this league and get my son's story out. And I just can't thank everybody enough.
That's awesome. Van, you able to stick around and do pick'ems with us right now?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. We're gonna move on to the Week 8 pick'ems. I do want to say something kind of cool. Things like this happen sometimes, and it's just weird. And I don't know. You can classify it however you want, but The numbers for today have been going up and down for the show tonight. And for some reason, right during, and I took a screenshot of it on my phone so I could have proof. For some reason, during the video, we had 44 viewers watching that 4-minute video of Evan Lacey. And I took a screenshot and I checked it a couple times because I wanted to make sure it stayed steady, and it did. And then the numbers changed. As soon as the video was over, we went up to like 47 or something like that. So it's those 3 people who showed up late, you missed out. That's what you get. But but amazing. I'm gonna post that. I'll post that in the server later, just to show that I'm not talking trash. That it's a real deal. So let's get on to our Week 8 pick'ems. Frank the Franchise Wade, we'll be starting with you. First game out the box, LA at Atlanta. Frank, who you got?
I'm glad you said what you said, Dave, because I was thinking, how am I going to follow that? Let's see, pick'ems. I'm going with Los Angeles.
LA. Eagle?
I'm liking LA this week.
Hey, yo. Greg?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Benji?
Hotlanta.
Hotlanta. Evan, who you got in this one?
I gotta go with my brother Will Todd, Flight for Life. I'm going with Atlanta.
Okay, and Gunny?
Happy birthday, Ray, Atlanta.
Oh, is today's Ray's birthday?
Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday is. Okay. Oh, for game day. So she needs that gift. Okay. I'm sorry, Gunny, but you still picked Atlanta, did you say?
Hometown, yes.
Yeah, like a figure. To hell with Ray's birthday. I'm going with my home team. Hey, also real quick, Cam, if you're still in the chat, if you want to come on and talk about the convention after dark, jump in the green room whenever you get a chance after pick'ems, and we'll do that. Game 2, Vegas at Fort Worth. Frank?
Fort Worth.
Eagle?
Yep, Fort Worth.
Greg?
Vegas.
Benji?
The Toros.
The Toros. Evan?
Going with my boy Colin Pierce again. I'm going with Vegas.
Okay. Gunny?
Las Vegas, a division foe.
That's right. You got that rule. We can't break that rule ever. Let me see. Game 3 on Saturday has got Carolina at Baltimore. Frank?
Baltimore.
Eagle?
You know what? Carolina.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you just change your mind on the fly right now? It sounds like you weren't sure there for a
I
moment.
do what I want.
I do what I want.
It's the hat.
Greg, yes, he's got that Miami attitude now. Greg, what's up?
Yeah, he knows what's up. Skyhawks.
Benji?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Evan, who you got? Carolina at Baltimore.
Flight for Life, Carolina.
There you go. Gunny?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Game 4 on Saturday has St. Louis at Mexico City. Frank?
Mexico City.
Mexico City. Eagle, what do you think about that?
Wrong.
Greg?
Los Aztecas de Mexico City.
Another one. Now, real quick, is everyone on the panel aware that Mexico City released one of their corners and picked up a copper corner? I don't know if he's Eagle. Do you know if he's playing this week, or how does that go? Is it too late?
From what I was told, Greg Gaines is not playing, and the new copper strong safety will fall into the nickel corner this week. From what I was told.
We'll double check that with Cam when he hops on. Benji?
That is good information, Dave. Thank you, Mexico City.
You're welcome, and I'm still taking Mexico City. Evan, who you got? St. Louis and Mexico City.
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Gunny? St. Louis because it's
St. Louis. Eagle will win Saturday, lose Friday night.
All right. Somebody said, can someone snap a picture of Evan and I from the highlights, the one of us talking after the tackle? Yeah, we could probably do that. We can make that happen. Is that Jeff Banfield, X-Max jet plane? Is that who that is? All right, what are we on? Game 5, Queen City at Jacksonville, Frank.
Jacksonville.
Eagle.
Jacksonville.
Greg.
Jacksonville.
Benji.
Saxonville.
Saxonville. Evan, Queen City at Jacksonville.
Queen City.
Queen City. Look at Evan being brave. Gunny?
All you need is Mike in Jacksonville.
That's it. That's all you need.
That's all you need is Mike in
All
Jacksonville.
you need is Mike. All right, Charleston and Vancouver to wrap up Saturday, Frank.
Vancouver.
Vancouver. Eagle.
Yep, the Legion.
Greg.
Vancouver.
Benji.
Vancouver.
Vancouver getting a lot of love in the chat, too, it looks like. Evan.
Vancouver.
Gunny, is this going to be unanimous?
Yeah, Kendra's got her Mickey Mouse ears under her helmet for Louisiana. Vancouver.
Nice. All right. Moving on to Sunday, Frank kicks off London to Tulsa.
London.
London. Eagle.
Yeah, London. Division rival. Tulsa? Nope, London.
All right. Greg.
London.
London. Benji.
London.
London. Evan.
London.
Oh, wow. Is this 2 sweeps in a row, Gunny?
It's a sweep.
Wow.
The Knights.
Look at that. Man, Tulsa get no love at home. I'm a little surprised by that. Tulsa's been playing a lot better. I can't believe nobody picked them. Frank, game 2 on Sunday, Florida at D.C.
Oh, Florida.
Eagle.
I'm going DC specifically
Really?
for our strength of schedule.
Oh, okay. It's a good thing there's not a prize for these pick'ems. Then you might have to actually go with.
Yeah, no, I'm going DC.
All right, Greg.
DC.
What's your reasoning?
Just what they did to us in the first quarter. I'm like, what the hell? And if they did that away, they should be able to do that at home. And shock Florida. Why not?
All right, Benji, you on the Dragon bandwagon here or what?
Oh, hold on. Plus, anyways, I have this thing with Florida. They claim Florida. It's, South Florida, but they're really not from Miami. They're from Fort Lauderdale. I don't know. It always irks me. I don't know. So I don't like that. If they move to Miami, it might be a different thing. That just irks me.
The Miami Storm. Okay, sounds good. Benji, are you on this DC bandwagon or what?
Oh, I think Florida's going to prevail in this one.
Okay. Evan, what do you got? Florida at DC.
Life for life, Benny. Let's go, DC.
There you go. Gunny.
The Bullet Storm.
Okay. That's split. I'm a little surprised by that one, too. 3-3. Not too shabby. Third game on Sunday, Portland and Houston, Frank.
Upset special. Portland.
Ooh. Eagle.
Gotta support my fellow syrup lover, Art.
Okay.
Portland.
Portland. Greg.
Unfortunately, Art's going to be handed 2 losses this weekend, so Houston.
Benji.
I think Houston's going to win this one.
Evan.
Not Houston, Division 4.
Oh, there you go. That's always a good. So Portland for you. And then Gunny, same thing, right?
Yeah, Art will not score in either match, Friday or Sunday, but I'm going for Portland anyway.
Man, there's a lot of dumping on this show tonight. Game, what are we on? I don't even know what we're on now. Game 4? Lone Star at Sioux Falls, Frank.
Lone Star.
Eagle.
If it snows, Sioux Falls.
So, I don't have the weather report.
Sioux Falls.
All right. Greg, do I even have to ask you?
Eagle, you know how I do in snow. It doesn't matter. I don't like it, but you know how I do in snow. Lone Star. Come on.
Come on. Benji?
Lone Star.
Evan?
LSG, baby.
Yep. Dude, this is great. I know I'm going to get at least 3 votes from tonight. Gunny, what do you think about that game, buddy?
We need a win, so I'm going to Lone Star.
There you go. Joey Schwint doesn't agree with us in the chat. Let's see here. 5th game on Sunday. Next to last game for the weekend. Denver at San Diego, Frank.
Another upset special. Denver.
Don't think that word means what you think it means. Eagle.
Rosca's going to be doing football things.
I believe
Denver.
that. I believe that. Well, he is the best goalie in the SSF. Greg, who you got in this game?
You know what? I just can't. Denver. I was about to, but I just can't.
Well, remember everybody, Optimus's roster file issue should be rectified. So if Optimus is big in this game, could be an upset. Benji, what do you
There
think?
was a file issue.
Yeah, we talked about it on Tuesday.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention on Tuesday.
Yeah,
I
apparently.
was drinking.
Apparently. You can.
Okay, I'll flip mine. I'll flip mine. What the hell not? I'll flip it. Just because of that. Just because of
that. Just because of Optimus.
Yeah.
Atta boy.
Fixing his file is not going to get Javier Vasquez sacked.
Well, Benji.
Nah.
Benji, where you at?
Denver.
Denver, yeah. Evan, does San Diego have a chance against Denver?
San Diego is going to shock the world. San Diego.
Whoa. And Gunny, where do you stand on this one?
I don't even know what position Jeremy Vega plays, but he's going to score a touchdown in the Denver win.
Okay. That's some futuristic stuff there. All right, the last game of Week 8, Arizona at Louisiana. Frank, I know where you're going, but why?
First home win.
All right, there you go. Eagle.
What up, though?
Greg.
Louisiana, because I like Frank. I'll let Louisiana win.
You like Frank? You don't like Bossier City,
Yeah.
but you like Frank?
No, I don't like BC.
Okay.
I like Frank.
That's it.
Come to BC, Soto.
Benji.
I also like Frank, but I think Arizona's going to win.
Evan, Arizona traveling to Louisiana. Does Louisiana get their first home win?
Arizona.
I guess that's a no. And Gunny.
Twin screw over Eddie Gage. Go Navy. Beat Army. So Louisiana.
I love that. All right. That wraps up.
Hold on, Dave.
Yeah.
Can we have a panel discussion, pick 'em, on Hearts of Maple versus AC Miami Azul?
Absolutely. Real quick. Frank, Hearts of Maple versus AC Miami. Who you got?
Oh man, Soto's team is tough. I got to give him that, and he oozes with confidence. So I'm going Miami.
All right, Eagle. I know you're going Hearts of Maple.
Hearts of Maple.
All right, Greg. I know you're going Miami.
Yep, by 2.
All right, Benji. Who you got in the SSF championship game tomorrow night?
This is riveting, guys. I don't know.
Okay.
I do like I like pancakes and waffles though. So
Yeah, you would be a Hearts of Maple guy.
Yeah.
Let's go Miami. Let's go Miami.
Hey, Evan. Evan, do you follow the soccer sim league at all?
I do not, and I have no clue about either team, but Hearts of Maple sounds sweet, so I'm going to go with Hearts of Maple.
Yes.
All right, Gunny, I know you play for our Miami, so I know you're going ACM.
Knox City next season. This season, Miami.
There you go, Gunny. That's what I'm saying. Give Knox City some love, baby. There you go.
Gunny transferring to Knox City?
I don't know, but if he is, you heard it here first.
You heard it here
You guys
first.
heard it before I did.
He didn't even tell his own owner.
I know, right? Neither one of them. All right. Let's move into After Dark. Eagle, if you could get me updated stuff and send it to me when you get a chance, I'd appreciate it. In the meantime, everyone, welcome everyone's favorite commissioner in the SFL. I didn't want to say all the way over because Eagle's on the show. Our favorite commissioner in the SFL, Cam Irvine, is here. Cam, what's going on, bro?
I have a prediction for that SSF championship game, Dave.
Have you been following it at all?
I wouldn't. I follow social media, so
okay.
I've been poking around. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you got?
Well, Eagle and Soto at times can be wildly unstable, so I'm going over 2 yellow cards in the game. That's my prediction.
You know what? That could happen. And you know what would be even better is if we see the first red card of the season. We haven't seen a red card yet.
I'm glad I didn't come on like a noob and be like 4 red cards, and y'all would have made fun of me. So
yeah, we would have let you have it for sure. Faux show. Well, let me check the chat real quick. Oh, Swole saying spam those emotes. Oh, the After Dark emotes for sure. Cam to the SSF confirmed. Eagle out as commissioner. Well, Eagle, it was nice knowing you. All right. Speaking of league, speaking of commissioners, speaking of all that, Cam, you made a comment about 2021 convention. So, do you have some news for us you wanted to break here, or what you got?
Well, just a little update and you get people's thoughts on the current status of things. So, overwhelming support and interest for a convention for late July, early August. The newest report is that everyone will be vaccine eligible by the start of May. That's positive for a potential convention. Here's the interesting thing, Dave. So, of course, I asked everybody, what state they live in when they filled out the survey. And looking at first off, Texas and Florida were the leaders in that. That is not a surprise. That's been that way since the SFL forever, right? For whatever reason, I guess Texas and Florida are just cooler than everybody else. But what was interesting was that the surrounding states were also very well represented, to the point that a central location to look into, and the first place I actually called was, want to take a stab, Dave? Mr. Hat?
Knoxville, Tennessee, or Nashville, Tennessee?
Nashville, Tennessee. So here's the interesting thing. So I called, not knowing anything about Tennessee, but I called a place a little south of Nashville that had a great indoor-outdoor space, which is, that's going to be key, regardless, I think. And the lady said, well, unfortunately, the restriction currently for indoor gatherings is 8. 8 people in Tennessee.
That must only be in Nashville, because that's not how it is in Knoxville.
Yeah, in Nashville, correct. In Nashville, it's 8 people. So I was really surprised. So I since then have been doing, looking at all the individual states and what's going on in terms of meeting groups. And obviously it varies by state. But the interesting thing, and the information from the lady at the event center in Nashville, who obviously wants my business, she's done almost nothing in the last year, right?
Right.
She said that she can't schedule an event that's larger than the current restriction, right? So she can't say, or she can't book me for, 75 guests or 90 guests or whatever if the restriction is 8, right? So it got me kind of looking at basically what we all probably are going to be looking at, which is essentially any state that has some sort of restriction that is sub 50 is basically out by default, because you guys need to be able to, plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And try to figure this all out with everybody. So with that being said, states like Texas and Florida and Georgia and either places that we've been prior or places that, or like Jacksonville, where we were going in 2021, that's, those are the most likely destinations at this point, because we want to get something shored up and finalized. And I just wanted to share an update with anybody, and if anybody had any thoughts to the matter.
I appreciate that. Does anybody in the chat have questions for Cam in regards to the convention? In the meantime, I'm actually surprised by that, Cam, because here at Knoxville, we can put 8 people in a booth right now, or at a table. I mean, seriously, it's nothing like Nashville. So Nashville's a much bigger city, obviously.
Yeah, it's all about flights too, right? You gotta be somewhere where it's relatively easy for people to fly into.
Knoxville's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really, city centers just for that purpose. And we've done events like the event center that I looked at was about 15 miles south of the airport in Nashville. So I mean, we can go a little bit outside, but you don't want to go venture too far to where it's just another incurring cost. So
I thought my understanding, Cam, when we canceled the last one, was that Jacksonville was going to be the first default. That's where we were going to go for the next convention, no matter what.
Well, it's still a great candidate. The problem is that they the hotel wouldn't roll me over. They wouldn't roll over the rate.
Wow.
And it wasn't just that hotel. I had other rates from other businesses and rent places or event spaces and stuff like that. No one would roll it over because it was too long of a prices change, right?
Right.
So they wouldn't just give me a rollover. Well, if you're not just going to give me a rollover, then I can't guarantee I'm coming, right? So Jacksonville still is a great option. It's obviously in a state that is more open. It's having some some beach options, activity, that type of stuff is helpful, obviously, to the situation. So we're still looking at that too. But it's it's definitely. I definitely was kind of hit in the face with that because I didn't. I thought they could just schedule it and assume that we would just be better at that stage, but they couldn't do that. So given that, we have to be able to plan.
So a couple things in the chat. Ray wants everybody to come to my house apparently for the convention. What else? Tom Rahman has the fix for you in Nashville. He said just plan 8 conventions for 10 people each in the same hotel.
Right, perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
See, Tom Rahman, the problem solver. And Gunny is asking what hotel hosted the Atlanta convention.
That actually worked out pretty well, I thought. Let me see.
Doug Britton says Omni Atlanta is awesome. Was it at the Omni?
No, it wasn't at the Omni. I'm trying to think of if somebody that was at the Atlanta convention can remember. Please let me know. I don't remember. Atlanta was a nice time. We rented a facility that was a little expensive. It was nice. We do. Last time we kind of split things up at different places. We would probably just have the whole convention just at one place,
right?
And rent it for 3 days, and just have it that way. It's a room that only the SFL is using,
right?
So you don't have to worry about other people coming in, to use it at that time. So,
right.
that would be, that would be it. So, it's that's kind of where we're at right now. Still in the exploratory phase of just trying to figure out opportunities and possibilities. But hope to have that nailed down by the end of the month. I know people want to make plans in a weaning out of COVID mode, right? There are still some challenges and some hurdles, but judging by the survey, there's just a ton of interest, and there really wasn't a lot of concern about convention size. I wanted to make sure that people knew that. But 141 responses, and actually I deleted some, but 137 people that filled out the survey were interested in a convention this summer. 81% the size of the convention didn't matter. In terms of flying to a convention, 89 of that 137 said yes. 111 people had never been to a convention before, right? So that's a pretty huge chunk. And 85% said, family events would not impact, whether we had them or whether we didn't, would not impact them going. So that's just the results from the survey. And now we take the next steps forward. So,
well, if we're hosting the convention at my house, apparently Dwayne has already called dibs on one of my couches, and somebody said, I think somebody was trying to answer your question about Atlanta. It's something by the Cumberland Mall, Renaissance Waverly. Yep. Renaissance Waverly is what Dwayne says. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Cumberland Mall definitely sounds right.
So, explain just for. I've actually had a couple people ask me about it before, and I meant to actually DM you about it and forgot. The question about if family activities is going to impact, what was the purpose of that question? Meaning, would single people want to stay away if you brought families or vice versa? What was the point of that question?
Well, a lot of times people have a specific amount of vacation days a year that they can burn, and a lot of times those vacation days are burned when the family goes on family trips.
Right.
And so sometimes if there's activities and things there to do for a wife or kids that isn't involved necessarily in the SFL, then maybe it's easier to convince, right? Let's all go to here because of X.
Right.
But that wasn't a big deal. But I have to be respectful, right? If that's something that people would want, because people have brought wives and kids to conventions before that aren't necessarily involved in the SFL. So I asked that just to get an idea of if having a family and doing a family trip would impact people's ability to come. So
Gotcha.
it's just another piece of information to help us do planning
Okay.
of activities and things.
Okay. Awesome. Anything else you want to say about that before we roll?
No, if I'm going to put all those people that said they were interested, I'm going to put you all in a Discord group in a little while, not today, but, here in the coming week or so. And I'm just going to ask, some basic things like, let's throw Texas and Florida in there, right? Does anybody have a preference? Do you not have a preference? Would you fly to one or the other? Or would you only go if it was in your state? That sort of thing, just to try to narrow some things down. So it's tough, man. It's tough planning something like this, and COVID doesn't help matters. It is a big positive, though, that we've got so many different vaccines out there, and everything's starting to slowly move into circulation, because the reality is look, you shouldn't, as long as you have access to getting vaccinated, or at least have been social distancing, whether, like my job, for example, I don't go anywhere. Right. So I'm like the social distance king. I'm not trying to discourage people. If people don't want to get vaccinated for whatever reason, I'm not trying to put that on you. But, if vaccines are readily available and the convention is going on, at that point, it's kind of up to you, right? If you're going, you're going because it's worth it. And you know that you're probably going to be fine. And so that's a positive for the convention, right? Because we don't want to be in the position where we feel like we're putting anybody in some sort of health danger. And I think by July and August, I don't think that's going to be the case. So
okay.
That's good news for everybody.
Okay. Awesome. All right, Cam. Well, thanks for coming on and giving us all that information. I know people are excited about the possibility of having one this season or this year, since we missed it last year. So I'm sure they appreciate all the info.
Yep. Sounds good, Dave. Thanks for having me.
All right. You got it, bro. Also, real quick, before we go, I've got the data from Eagle that we've been waiting on. It looks to me, how ironic, there's 40 people in the chat. There was about 40 responses on the t-shirt poll. 92% saying yes, they want a You're Muted Bro t-shirt. So I will get the wheels moving on getting that order started. We'll be putting more stuff in the server to start getting, sizes, payment situation, all that jazz. We'll figure it out. So there you go. You're Muted Bro t-shirts on the way. And also, I said the other night on Tuesday that I was working on badges for subscribers, and I wanted to have it by tonight, but I didn't want to rush it because I wasn't sure which emotes and what pictures and stuff to use for that. So I'm going to work on that this weekend, and we'll have those loyalty badges ready for you on Tuesday. So don't forget the You're Muted girl. Also, I don't know that I say that, Tom, but thanks for the heads up. Tom is a problem solver, but now he looks like he's starting to be a problem maker. Yeah, that's it. That's all there's going to be. You're muted, bro. That's it. All right. Thank you to Frank the Franchise Wade, Eagle Mondavi, Greg Soto, Benji Matson, Gunny, and of course Van Lacey for coming on the show tonight. Appreciate Cam jumping on as well in the After Dark, giving the convention update. Thank you to all the people in the chat. Love the hype train again. 2 shows in a row with hype trains. Love all the emotes, everything, all the cheering, the bits, the whole 9 yards. Even though I don't understand half of it still, I still love it. So thank you for all of that you guys do with listening to the show, supporting the show, and being in the chat. So in the meantime, have a glorious Week 8 weekend. And go Glory, man. We need a win bad. And I will see you next Tuesday right here on Twitch at 9 p.m. when I see you at the tees.